violence in your eyes. It's a silent fighting. I see the lies in their mind, and you can't decide cause they only blinding. Go away and go from the wild guys. Follow my advice cause they're gonna be biting you. They're gonna kill if you let them through. Go, mommy, go now. I really don't want to see you cry. Mommy, go now. I really wanna brutalize, let him agonize, cause it's gonna be biting you. They're gonna kill if you let them through. Go, mommy, go now. I really don't want to see you cry. Mommy, go now.
Good morning. There are really beautiful wildflowers right outside the window at the head of my bed. It's so cute. But I was tossing and turning since like 2:30, and after just under an hour, I decided to just get up and have a really slow, mindful morning. Willow sat with me for like 20 minutes, which was so sweet, and it was like an externalized excuse to be present and mindful and slow down, because she insisted I pet her that entire time. So yeah, it was a really sweet morning. I did a whole eyeshadow thing because I haven't done eyeshadow in a while, and with the dark smoky vibe and the eyeliner, it feels very, what is this lighting? Early 2000s, very Wanda Maximoff in, what is it? Oh my god, what is it? Ultron, Age of Ultron. I don't know if you can see that vibe, but that's what I'm getting from it. Anyway, we are heading to brunch with our friend from school, Greta, in a little over an hour. So I'm gonna dry my hair and finish getting ready, and yeah.
I really wanna brutalize, let him agonize, cause it's gonna be biting you. Cry, I know you've been loving him more than ever. Cry, I know you've been hurting you every day. Cry, but don't be afraid, cause it really don't matter. You will burn on fire. I see the violence in your eyes, and it's a silent fighting. I see the lies in their mind, and you can't decide cause they only blinding. Go away and go from the bad guys. Follow my advice cause they're gonna be biting you. They're gonna kill if you let them through. Go, mommy, go now. I really don't want to see you cry. Mommy, go now. I really wanna brutalize, let him agonize, cause it's gonna be biting you. They're gonna kill if you let them through. Go, mommy, go now.
I'm still writing. I can't imagine wanting so badly to be right, 'cause I'm forever on your mind. I wonder why what's wrong with a little bit of poison? Tell me, I would rather feel everything than nothing. And I
agonize, cause it's gonna be biting. They're gonna kill if you let them through.
This is the moment of embracing. All auspicious signs are in place. The beginning, all things are hopeful. We prepare ourselves to start anew. Though we may be intent on the magnificent journey ahead, all things are contained in this first moment. Our optimism, our faith, our resolution, our innocence. In order to start, we must make a decision. This decision is a commitment to daily self-cultivation. We must make a strong connection to our inner selves. Outside matters are superfluous. Alone and naked, we negotiate all of life's. Therefore, we alone must make something of ourselves, transforming ourselves into the instruments for experiencing the deepest spiritual essence of life. Once we make our decision, all things will come to us. Auspicious signs are not a superstition, but a confirmation. They are a response. It is said that if one chooses to pray to a rock with enough devotion, even that rock will come alive. In the same way, once we choose to commit ourselves to spiritual practice, even the mountains and valleys will reverberate to the sound of our purpose. I have to go put this down because I just realized my computer's on a piano and I'm not putting my coffee on a piano. Hello. So it has been almost a month because my last episode was August Slips Away into a Moment in Time after the Taylor Swift song. And I didn't really do an update. Actually, I did. After like the first 2 weeks, I did an update about my last few days in Florida with Heaven and my first week with Dylan. But that ended up being like a half an hour long update. And a lot of it was just ridiculous ramblings. So I decided I would just do a short and sweet synopsis, and anything that's worth sharing I'll either share here or eventually. Life has a way of repeating. So let's get into it. So Dylan and his partner's new place was so beautiful and peaceful and refreshing, and it reminded me of the energies that we both value in life and as friends, which makes us such compatible friends. And one of my first days with them, I joined Dylan's partner on a trip to Boston because they were about an hour and a half away from there, and they were going to go have lunch with some of their friends, and so I stayed at the Prudential Center and sort of walked around. I got a coffee at Blue Bottle Coffee Co. That was in the B-roll, and I I had anxiety, AC, and a lot of caffeine, so I was shaking like a chihuahua, and it was great. Besides that, before I left, I also stopped at Italy because your girl loves to eat, so I really enjoyed talking theory and getting a lot of lovely book recommendations. I also read the short story The Egg, which I highly recommend. It's not necessarily my particular spiritual belief, but it has principles that overlap with plenty of philosophy, so it is a very introspective philosophical read, and it's pretty short, so it's definitely worth it. But after being at Dylan's, I spent 7 days with Cindy, and that's where I got the stress. Cindy gave me a couple of her old clothes. Honestly, we were sharing a very intimate space, so I got like the tiny few clips of B-roll at the end of the last episode. Most of the stuff that's very pink, that her room is very pink. So yeah, that was my time at Cindy's, and it wasn't too adventurous, but I was introduced to soy sauce ramen, and now I have a couple packs of that because that was lovely. So my initial plan of where I was going to go and how I was going to finish out the summer break kind of fell through. So sort of last minute, my dear friend Haven from school, from Bar Harbor, well, actually their apartment's not in Bar Harbor, but all the way up in Maine, came all the way down to Massachusetts to get me and bring me up to Vermont, where I am now with Jillian. And I also didn't think that coming back here was going to be an option for a short while, but I have so much peace here. Vermont, especially kind of in the mountains, in the middle of nowhere, or sort of outside of the Burlington area, is so incredibly breathtaking and really grounds me. And there's very few things that are as beautiful as it is here. It's absolutely, I'm enamored. So yeah, needless to say, I'm really grateful for that. And on the note of manifesting things, this has been a ridiculously challenging summer, and I've had to say goodbye to a lot of things that I've known that goodbye is coming for a while, and have a lot of things that would, I think, send a person who hasn't had a lot of things before through a tailspin. And there were times where I just didn't have the answers to things you absolutely should have the answers to for your own sanity and well-being as a person, as a human being. And yet this sort of knowing myself and detaching and having this gratitude for the abundance of the cosmos and knowing what lights me up and trusting that my needs and desires will be met as long as I keep going in that direction really came through in an infinite amount of ways. But I think being here in Vermont is a huge example of that, where while I was trying to figure things out and I was messaging people for 2 days straight, several people, how am I going to remedy these plans and where am I going to go, the thought just kind of crossed my mind that I would feel so much peace and ease after such a tumultuous summer to be back here. And I sort of let it go because, like I said, that option wasn't originally on the table, and it just sort of worked out that way. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's part of why I have learned to thrive and actually love and embrace and explore chaos, is because I think when you understand yourself and you understand some of the principles of the universe, then the crazy and the unknown and the unexpected is just kind of par for the course. It's part of the whole tapestry and journey of it all. But I digress. I've been at Jillian's for, oh my goodness, I think a week now as well. And we have gone to shops in the library and the bookstore, and I have been doing these Taoist meditations in that little book that I've been showing that I just got from the library the other day. I also have started reading the I don't know how to pronounce that, of Piglet. It is the book that comes after the Tao of Pooh, which I absolutely adore and would recommend to anybody, and is one of the many inspirations for one of the tattoos I'd like to get someday. I don't know what the answer to my hair is. It woke up and chose violence. I guess that's my journey with heatless curls. Anyway, I also picked up 3 or 4 other books, so I will be reading quite a lot. Because I am house sitting from today until the 1st. I've been here a week, but they had a trip planned, and so now I am responsible for taking care of the garden and the cat and getting the mail. And so far today, I have just done some food prep and some laundry, and I feel like I'm running a little household. I mean, definitely had my own apartment at some point, but it's been a while. I've been in school and traveling and in other people's spaces, so it's nice to kind of breathe and have my own routine and privacy and just be in nature. And I love that there's an excuse to get out every day. I have yet to go water the garden and get the mail, so I might go stop at the pond because I think there are ducklings, and that's just, oh, so precious. I'm also going to prioritize recording while I finally have a acoustic, private, secluded, quiet space that's just not going to interrupt or disturb anyone. So I will be preparing for my music independent study by trying to lay some vocals, as well as writing and recording as many podcasts as I can, and Music Mondays, and I'm going to see if I can catch up on any Wellness Wednesdays. It's a little tough with just being at the house. There's actually no vehicles currently, and for the 5 days that I'm here, so that's a fun time. I'm no stranger to just like being a place, and that's it. There's no other options but your own mind and your own creativity. We're gonna be great, but yeah, I'm just going to try to produce as much as I can while I have the freedom to do such. Do so. What is grammar? Does grammar even exist? Yeah, I've just now realized like I missed creating, and that's another thing just sort of falling into place. Like a lot of my traveling and being other houses and everything, I'm like, oh, I wish I had like the time and the energy and, you know, whatever to be doing some work before term starts again. And here we are. We have 5 days. Actually, it might be 4 because the family sort of split up. Like some of them are camping and some of them are visiting family, so some might be back before the others, but still I have a couple days. Also today I got to do some yoga for the first time in like 2 weeks, which I needed to move. My hips were like cracking. Also, fun fact about me, I'm sure it's been in some clips somewhere, but I have dancer knees. Every single time my knees are bent and then they unbend, they are like, they're terrible. They're the most, they crack like, I can't even express to you how loudly and how many times. Also today, I listened to Time Lies Ludos that episode of the Sleeping at Last podcast, and I adore Sleeping at Last. I always have. I think the way that musician is able to, I believe his name is Ryan, to like produce something that feels the way feelings feel. It absolutely blows my mind. And now I'm obsessed with this podcast and I need to listen to every episode because the way that he articulates his musical journey and the reason and purpose behind his choices as an artist, his lyricism, oh my goodness, I'm absolutely obsessed. And I relate to the unconventional approach, and I'm so inspired as somebody who's clearly so much more knowledgeable and experienced than I. So yeah, new fixation there. I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole as well. Why do I keep mentioning rabbit holes every episode? I need to stop. Everything's just the beginning of the Matrix movie with like the rabbit tattoo. That's me. I'm the beginning of your Matrix journey. So that episode will be in my Inspo for the Cozy Coven playlist on this channel, as well as this video that is a playlist will be on that playlist that I just started listening to this morning. That was so beautiful, and it's called The Moon Sings For You, a playlist. And it's just like really cozy music that I've enjoyed, so I thought I'd share. But yeah, if there's ever like a video that I reference, I most often tell you that it's in that playlist, but if not, it's in that playlist always. I also have the link to the Pinterest board that if I use any photos for inspiration for the Divine Diary B-roll, it's normally, I'll move it to that folder so that it's public and others have access to it. Sometimes even recipes or quotes. Right now there's so many quotes because I'm writing a lot of things, and so when I'm done notating those quotes, I will add them to that folder as well. And I believe there's also a scene in the Divine Diaries Amazon list. Try to shop local as much as possible, but if you're ever curious where a product's from that I didn't get from some odd, unconventional way, hence the inner corner makeup right here, I got a new thing from Cindy in makeup as well, and I think I've gotten a couple things from her, and then Jillian just gave me a new concealer. So I get random things, where I go to school, we have what is it called? A community, not the community fridge, we also have that, but a free box where we give and take whatever we're done with. I'm going on another tangent. I'm gonna go outside and get some fresh air because it's lovely. It's so autumnal out and I'm kind of obsessed. And I've been listening to music and I'm going stir crazy. And then get to working to recording when I get back. And it's been lovely talking with you. Hello. Look at what I just got from the garden. Cucumbers. I just came back from that walk and I think I could spend my entire life writing songs and never capture the majesty of nature. And oh my gosh, it's my goal now to spend as much of autumn and winter out in nature as I possibly can. There's a family member that I unfortunately had a bit of a falling out with this summer who said this really interesting thing that they had gotten from a comic, and I'm not sure which comic, but about how we have two birthdays, the day that we're born and the day that we become who we're meant to be. And they were with me when I started at my school, which was really, I had made several choices as an independent adult woman, but as I mentioned in previous Divine Diary episodes, there are very much lesser evils. They were the options that were available to me, and that was really a choice for myself, and it came with so much wisdom and community and joy, and I didn't realize how much of me it was until I was living it. And to be technically on Acadia property, or what was Wabanaki tribe land, it's breathtaking, and obviously so is Vermont, and I don't know, I feel so profoundly grateful for the opportunity to experience this. And I got in the habit of how I had coped with stress was isolation, because that was what was available to me. And now the cat's outside. I've been trying to get her out. And don't get me wrong, your girl still loves some emo music in a dark room, but I think embracing a little bit more of what's naturally healing, sort of like how doom scrolling comes as a much needed rest, when a meditation would be far more fulfilling. Same with nature. Speaking of animals slowly finding their way to you, there's a couple things I forgot to mention in the update, one of which being Jillian and I returning to Mirror Lake that we were kayaking and paddleboarding on. We're going to try to do so again when she returns, if it is warm enough on one of those days. We're about 11 days out to returning to campus, and she'll be gone for the next 5. And anyway, we returned there, and she's been practicing some distance swimming, and I just sort of sat and dissociated because I've been in need of some deep rest, which, I don't know, I've been getting the message recently about like connecting to myself and learning how to rest before all of the next things in life unfold, and I'm like, how could I do so more? I am who I am, I do what I love, blah blah blah. And now I'm getting it. Now that I'm out in nature today, I'm getting it. But anyway, that day, a frog sat with me the entire time, and a what do they call it, dragonfly just kept landing on me. So I don't know, something about your vibe. Jillian said they liked my energy, and I definitely looked at the symbolism of them as well. Also seeing a lot of crows, but my name's Morgan, so I swear I keep hearing the neighbors. I mean, like, they live like really up there, but I mean, I'm talking, so. Also, yesterday was, let me look up my calendar so I get it right. Yesterday was Women's Equality Day, International Dog Day, and the day that Taylor Swift got engaged. So that's where we are in the calendar. Are you purring? What was that? I don't think that was you. Two other things I wanted to mention real quick. I am getting one of my friend's old phones, so that should be in the mail in the next couple of days. So my B-roll will greatly improve, but I won't get a phone plan on it until late September, most likely, if that can all work out. But I can film, and I'll have a little bit more accessibility to the internet. So contacting people won't be me lugging my laptop to anywhere that has service and like DMing people. The other thing was Dylan's partner had also introduced me to the film Everything Everywhere All at Once, which really is. So it's a lot, and I would highly recommend what Dylan had recommended to me years ago. I haven't really utilized the app, but I've heard it's a good resource. Did the Dog Die? Just for any sort of content or trigger warnings, just in case you need them. There's definitely people right up there. But it's remarkable nonetheless, and I can't recommend it enough. But I'm going to go sit on the pond, on the pond. I'm going to levitate on the pond that's on the property and read a little bit before I get into any producing. The other pond with the ducklings are over there. I did walk over there and look at the ducks and the turtles. It was very cute. But yeah, I'm going to soak in some more nature. Just got to that section of the book. Supposedly it's pronounced dar. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Also, cannot recommend it enough. It's incredible.
Reflection. Moon above water, sit in solitude. If waters are placid, the moon will be mirrored perfectly. If we still ourselves, we can mirror the divine perfectly. But if we engage solely in the frenetic activities of our daily involvements, if we seek to impose our own schemes on the natural order, and if we allow ourselves to become absorbed in self-centered views, the surface of our water becomes turbulent. Then, we cannot be receptive to Tao. There is no effort that we can make to still ourselves. True stillness comes naturally from moments of solitude where we allow our minds to settle. Just as water seeks its own level, the mind will gravitate towards the holy. Muddy water will become clear if allowed to stand undisturbed. And so too will the mind become clear if it is allowed to be still. Neither the water nor the moon make any effort to achieve a reflection. In the same way, meditation will be natural and immediate.
forgot to mention, when Jillian was still here, we also went to brunch with our friend Greta from school, and she brought us hand-picked flowers from her garden, and it was the cutest thing ever. But yeah, today, much different from yesterday. I, instead of being outdoors in a white sundress, I've been inside in an all-black outfit. I promise it's all black. I just put the sweater on. Yeah, life can be complicated.
Bitch.
It's just a constant flow of like me being sensitive and learning to guide my response to trusting myself, knowing my authentic self, doing my best, and knowing that people are gonna get it or they don't, and I don't know, trying to enjoy life nonetheless.
Right, ladies and men, and my non-binary friends.
Well, I thought that was turning off by itself, but I just kind of blocked it. Yeah, I finished all of the chores for today, and I didn't get to any recording yesterday, and honestly, again, that like real need for deep rest after the chaos of summer has just been rearing its head no matter how stubbornly I try to fight it.
Production. I can't be here anymore. I have to go.
Or wait until midnight and react to Sabrina's album release. If not, I'll just film that tomorrow. Yeah, that's the vibe. Just taking it one what is palatable thing at a time, as opposed to trying to fill all of our time with something that's somewhat productive, because deep, true rest and receiving and allowing and finally surrendering into your feminine and just allowing things to work for you and believing you deserve them is also extraordinarily productive. In fact, it's really a key component to making anything work out. But I spent this morning having vegan toffee bark and a shit ton of coffee for breakfast, sleeping in because I couldn't fall asleep, and watching a ton of stand-up, and then dancing around in just a bra. So that was my morning. Life's about balance.
Video is gonna be amazing, okay? Lower your standards. This shit is free on the internet.